getting straight into it, Dexerto reported, was it on Friday? I think it was on Friday,
believe so.
um, that the league is potentially moving back to YouTube exclusivity following Major 2. Um, I believe I saw a clip from Scump's watch party of Hex talking about it and being like he hadn't heard anything about this. Now, obviously, that could just be semantics and him just saying that for the sake of saying it, but it seemed like he actually had no idea of it and was like, if, I don't think the CDL would make a move like this without consulting their partners first. So I found
Mm-hmm.
that to be interesting. We're obviously going to have to wait and see. I think it would be just based on the success we've seen so far with Twitch this year and the watch parties in particular. I think it would be um, just not the best move to go back to YouTube exclusively. At the same time, one of the points you made in your opinion piece is the importance of media rights deals and the money that can bring in for Activision, which could allow Activision to continue to run these the CDL in general. And then I know I liked watching on YouTube, just having the ability to immediately rewind, and I could like double check the score when I'm trying to update our scores and standings posts for matches and stuff like that. But I mean, I definitely like the clipping feature on Twitch more than clipping on YouTube. So there's pros and cons to both platforms. I think the big one, though, especially that everybody's seeing with the success of the watch parties, is just the viewership. So I know you're a little bit more passionate about this topic than I am, so you can go for it.
I don't want to spend too much time on it because we're a little bit over an hour already, but I implore everyone that is very interested or very passionate or really don't know, like what's going on and whatnot, to go to my opinion article. The title is CDL's reported return to YouTube is just another misstep in COD Esports' eternal search for progress. And, I've haven't been following Call of Duty as long as Bink. I haven't been, following Call of Duty or in the space as long as a lot of the pros who have been around since like COD 4. Some have been like really there from the very beginning of COD Esports, like through the PCLs and through Frag Cup and all that. So, I'm not saying that I am like like a hardcore, like long time fan as long as other people. But as someone who has been watching COD for almost exactly 10 years now, I got started with COD Champs 2013. I saw Parasite's butt crack, and that really got me hooked into it. So that was about 10 years ago. It was like March 2020 or 2013. So I have been around for a while. I've seen COD at its peak in terms of competitive. I've seen it at its lowest, and I've seen it in the middle. And I think we're like the middle low right now. Like I think COD has so much potential. The fact that people still talk about this game and talk about the scene as a whole so much on Twitter is ridiculous. Like the for as small of a esports scene as we are compared like in viewership compared to like League and CS:GO and Dota and all of that, like the people on social media are very passionate about that. And I think that shows that there's a lot of potential for this league and for this esport to grow. But I think that moving back to YouTube, and it will be a very negative, like a negatively perceived move because of what we've already seen people say about a potential move back to YouTube. It's going to be like a real big problem for them. It's going to be at least a perception issue for the league that it's about the money and not about growing the scene, which of course it's about the money. Like nobody's, naive to that. But if they do move back to YouTube and go away from Twitch, that proves like that is like a very blatant act of like this is about the money, and people just don't like seeing that in general, even if they know it to be true. So YouTube could be an attractive option for the CDL just simply because of the media rights. And I'm not saying that I'm very clued into any of this stuff, But I know that media rights is worth a lot of money in traditional sports. You look at the NFL, you look at the NBA, they are making billions of dollars off of, selling their media rights to like CBS, Fox, ESPN, etc. Obviously, the CDL is not making billions of dollars off of their stuff. But I'm sure that it is something that is, relatively lucrative to the league if they're able to sell their media rights to YouTube. Whereas the same thing that Activision did in, 2019, where they sold the media rights for the Overwatch League and the Call of Duty League to YouTube, which made it the exclusive home of the Activision's two biggest franchise esports leagues. As far as I'm concerned, it's a really bad thing. Not because I dislike YouTube, because I agree with you. I think it's a lot more convenient to watch on YouTube, to like be able to rewind stuff it's much better. But as far as like, I just want to see Call of Duty esports grow, even if it makes me a little uncomfortable or makes me a little like annoyed at certain times, because like I might not like a certain aspect of how we're growing. I want this thing to grow. I've been around Call of Duty for 10 years, and I haven't really been following any other esport for that long. Like I don't care about any other esport to that degree. And I don't even play Call of Duty, and I still have a podcast with Bink. I still watch these events. I still write articles. I still edit articles. I actually keep updated on like what's going on in the league. And I don't even play the game. That's just because I love COD esports, and it just would make me very sad and very frustrated to see this happen again, where I liken it to the MLG.TV move, which I think is one of the worst things that ever happened to Call of Duty esports, just moving away entirely from Twitch at a time when the league really not the league, but like the scene really needed it, and at a time when players like Nadeshot and Scump were still getting thousands and thousands of Twitch viewers. To move completely away from that, I think was a mistake. And now would be a maybe even a bigger mistake for the Call of Duty League to move away from Twitch, where they have Zuma and Scump. Now maybe Methods, other players. I saw that Karma was co-streaming. I saw that Rambo was co-streaming. And I'm sure there will be many more. But to move away from that and move away from all of the viewership that essentially it's just been created because of these co-streams that have been allowed to happen, I think that'd be a huge mistake, and definitely something that would hurt Call of Duty esports as a whole, and maybe never recover from like to the same degree, or it would take just a long time.